What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and it's time for me to get old, crotchety, and complainy with you. I've got a bit of a rant that I want to direct towards phone manufacturers, in particular, Android phone manufacturers. Guys, it's getting crazy with the rate of smartphones that are coming out. The Droid Razr came out just a few months ago, and now the Droid Razr Max is here. Remember when the Galaxy S2 was new, and then the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket came out with LTE a few months later, and now the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket HD is coming out in the next few months? The rate of smartphones coming out over and over and over again is only serving to isolate the phone buying public. Say what you will about an iPhone. I haven't used an iPhone in about 6 months, but at least when you buy one, you know another one's not coming out for at least a year. You buy an Android device right now, that phone might not even be new for 2 or 3 months. And that's assuming you buy it the day it gets released. Phone manufacturers, you are making money hand over fist in a grab to get more money and releasing slightly updated and tweaked versions of each phone. Wait a few months. Release one phone. Motorola, don't release the Razr a few months ago. Wait and release the Droid Razr Max, and that'd have a bigger battery, and just call it the Droid Razr. And everybody who buys it's going to be thrilled that they're going to get a really thin device, the Kevlar back, and a nice sized battery that's going to work. And then you're not going to screw them a few months later with a new phone. And I say screw them, metaphorically. Obviously, they're not really. Doing that. And certainly you buy a phone, you know what the risks are. I get the other side of that argument. I really do. You know that you're not going to be new forever. But there is a little bit of wonder. Maybe that's sort of the tech lover and the geek in me. There's a bit of wonder when you get a new phone, you open up that box, you've been reading about it, you're excited to get it, you take it out, got it right here, and you're like, wow, you know what, I'm really excited that I've got, at least for a short period of time, a cutting edge device. And then 3 months later, there is something new and better out. And the moral being, there's no good time to buy an Android phone. And that's really the main point of this video. There is no good time to buy a new Android phone. You could buy what you think is going to be the absolute latest and greatest 15-core processor in February, and they'll have a 16-core model by April. It is getting out of control. I ask phone manufacturers and even to the carriers, release phones every 6 months, every 8 months. Make sure the phones that come out aren't just incremental small upgrades with the number 2 or an HD or a XX put at the end like Droid Razr Max. Make sure they are real upgrades. The consumer can see a difference. It's just creating consumer confusion when you walk into a store and you're looking at a Galaxy S2, a Skyrocket HD. You want to buy a Windows phone, you're looking at the HTC Titan, and now the Titan 2 is coming. You don't know what to buy. And the average consumer maybe isn't as tech savvy as, say, you and me, because they got other things they're interested in. And it gets very tough to recommend devices. It's even hard to keep up with phones and devices. And maybe this is counterintuitive to what pays my bills, because I'm a tech reviewer and I review all the new phones that come out, but I'm also a consumer on top of that. And I also go out and I buy phones. I recommend phones to friends. And it's getting really hard to pick a phone to recommend. People always ask, when's it a good time to buy an iPhone? I can definitely say, right after release, the first 3 to 4 months, great time to buy an iPhone. The latest Android phone comes out, I have no idea. People saying, hey, should I buy the Galaxy Nexus? I don't know. It's a great phone, and you're going to love it, and it'll last you well for 2 years. But are you going to have that consumer's dissonance 3 months later when the Galaxy Nexus S comes out, or some other Galaxy S3, whatever gets announced at Mobile World Congress, comes out, and then the sequel to that a few months later? Yeah, you're probably not going to feel so good. It's also creating a bit of, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this, brand and operating system lashback, or feedback, not lashback, lash out. So you get a new phone, you're excited, it becomes obsolete, you feel upset, and you get a little bit of distance about it. And I think a lot of that is where the fanboy wars come from, why iPhone users generally don't get along with Android users, because they want people to validate their opinion. I bought an Android phone, so because I made that decision, it's got to be the best. And I bought an iOS device, and I made that decision, so it's got to be the best. And if you made another one, you're a stupid head face. And people that are buying these Android devices, I think some of them are getting annoyed that they bought a new phone, now a new one is released. And maybe I'm off base, maybe you know the risks when you buy a new phone and it doesn't matter that a new one's coming out and you don't care. But if you're stuck with a device for 2 years, you at least hope that what you're getting is going to be the latest for a finite period of time, and that finite period is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So this was a ranty stream of consciousness video, but I was getting ready to write up a post on when is it a good time to buy an Android phone. I realized that the answer is never. There's never a good time to buy an Android phone. You're always waiting for an update to come out. You're waiting for ice cream sandwich for your phone, or there's going to be a new version that's coming out. Not saying what you're not going to buy isn't going to be great, isn't going to last you for 2 years, but there's never an ideal time when you can say, if I buy right now, I am for sure getting the latest and greatest, and that just doesn't exist in the world of Android. And it doesn't look like it's going to exist either in the world of Windows phones, as those become more and more popular and more get released. So HTC has gone on the record of saying, yeah, we know what, John. They didn't say this to me, but in general, they agree with the sentiment. They said they plan on releasing fewer phones in 2012. Samsung, I urge you to do the same. LG and the rest of the manufacturers, Motorola, release phones with upgrades that we can tell what they are. Adding LTE is a great upgrade. Changing a camera doesn't necessarily count as a giant upgrade. Make sure these upgrades are things that people are going to know and are going to care about, and don't isolate the people that are buying your products. I'm John Rettinger. It's been another rant. Do you agree or disagree with me? I'm kind of curious to hear what you have to say. For all your tech news, be sure to check us out at technobuffalo.com. And if you want to see another side of me that's not the technology side, you can check out Inside John's Mind. Give that a subscription. Link to that's also going to be down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.